Hello and welcome. I am Arta Mehana and I'm thrilled to be hosting this series of podcasts talking entrepreneurship in Western Balkans. This series of podcasts is being recorded as part of Youth Entrepreneurship Education Program, and we are talking with young entrepreneurs, young people passionate about entrepreneurship in general. We want to get as many insightful and inspiring stories as possible to share with youth of Western Balkans. Today, on this series, we are recording in Kosovo, and my guest is Ilir Kishmari, a young, passionate entrepreneur who will share more about his journey on entrepreneurship waters and see what we will learn from him and from his journey so far. Welcome, Ilir. Pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you for the invitation, and I am happy to be here and to share my story and my journey with you. I am Ilir Kishmari, and I study Master Science in Computer Science Department, and I focus in data science and artificial intelligence. Besides that, I have founded an NGO that is Student Initiative for Innovation 68. We have been working with students, holding numerous lectures and TED Talks and trying to raise awareness about different topics, and one of them was about entrepreneurship in general. We have invited numerous guest speakers who shared their story about their startups, how they founded it, because we think that we need it. Also, I work as project manager and programming instructor in the digital school in Kosovo. We manage projects from USAID and other local projects that we work on daily basis. And also I teach programming to kids because I think one way of learning is by teaching. When you are teaching somebody something, that's when you really understand and those concepts that you are teaching. If you don't know how to teach somebody that they don't understand, then it's a sign that you don't know that pretty well. Yes, this is in short points what I have been doing this year.
It's nice to hear. You seem like a busy, active, young guy, and I'm happy to hear that our youth is being engaged in so many activities at the same time. You mentioned about sessions you've had on entrepreneurship with your organization. I want to know more from you. Why entrepreneurship? How does entrepreneurship fit on your daily routine, and why you think it's important to teach young people on entrepreneurship?
Now that we have different challenges and with the technology improvement, I am focused more in data science and artificial intelligence because I see more space that we need that to do entrepreneurship. But my bachelor studies was in financial mathematics, and I did an exchange semester in Latvia, and there I had a specific topic that was named subject that was named startup, and all we did learn there was about startups. We learned how to find the startups, how to create a business model, everything. And I have a lot of examples. I have, for example, Tallinn, that is the capital city of Estonia. They have a lot of startups there. We visited them, and it was so amazing for me because like this culture, and also we learned a lot about Tel Aviv. That is like one of the biggest cities, if I can say, in the world for startups in terms, like when you compare it to the population. And I tried to learn in general about startups, and I had different ideas, and that I am looking forward to push further. But first I need to get some experience and to learn, then to apply it to the real world. But that what is important is that I understood the importance of startups in the development of a country. If you have the population that they want to found things, they want to create new things, they want to develop a new idea, that's when you have reached the optimized the productivity in your country, and especially to young people. That's why we organize different sessions, and we try to motivate young generation to think outside the box and to think that they can found something and that can be their idea, and to push it further, not just work for somebody else or engage in political parties, since we have seen that youngsters here do it a lot.
Okay, so you are promoting productive youth activity.
Yes.
Not that involved in political.
I mean,
and public
there is nothing
issues.
bad about that, but it should be both, and we should focus in both of them.
Because there is a lot of space to innovate there as well.
Yes, we have to have the diversity. If somebody wants to be an entrepreneur, they can choose to be one. If somebody wants to do something else, to be a politician, they have to choose it, but we have to create an environment that everybody can do what they want. And we in Kosovo right now, we don't have a lot of startups. If I ask you for a startup that you have to think a lot to find one. But if I ask, for example, this question to somebody who lives in Tel Aviv, they can tell you 10 startups, like in a easy way. And also in Tallinn, when we visited Tallinn, we saw that a lot of people deal with those things and innovate and create new things. And the good thing is that our population is young, and the products that we can create, we cannot, if we sell in Kosovo or the market is not that big, we have to think outside the box. We have to sell the product abroad, because that's what we should aim for. Yes, since our population is not that big, so we can create something for our own needs, but everything that we create, we should think it in a global level or regional level or European level, since we are here. And in this way we can bring a lot to our team, and I think we have all the potential, because our population is young. We have everything that is needed. We have also the youth support in those terms. They support us with different programs. So, I think that we miss is just like the culture and the education. We have to focus more in the education, and we have to try to change something. One thing that I would like to mention that came to my mind when I think about entrepreneurship was that in those countries, something that helped, and I have seen a lot of experts telling that it has helped, for example, Tel Aviv in developing this kind of mindset, was army. For example, one of the entrepreneurs that I remember that I was listening to, she said, when I was 18, I went to the army and I was leading a team. We were doing bombing, and after you finish that, when you are 19, you think that you can do anything in the war, because nothing looks that difficult after you finish the army and like the obligatory army that they have. And when you finish it, you have the confidence that you can really do something, because the youngsters here, they don't believe that they can change the world, or they can have real impact. If you tell them, please, can you do something, they would just say, well, what is it? Or they will just be confused. But if you go in those countries that they have an environment for startups, if you say, let's do something, everybody will raise their hands and they will be standing up. Yes, I will do it. Even though they don't know exactly what you're asking for, everybody will be ready to risk it and go for it. We have to create that kind of environment that everybody wants to do it. Everybody goes for it, takes the risk, and wants to change the community where they live, wants to change the world in general.
Which is exactly the reason why we are doing this podcast, right?
Yes.
We're bringing stories, inspiring stories, so that people, young people who hear us and probably will get inspired as well. It's an interesting viewpoint that I heard from you right now, but I would like to bring you back to your beginnings of understanding the concept of entrepreneurship, what it is, and you told me what impressed you more, but how how come that you learned about entrepreneurship only when you were in your basic studies, bachelor studies?
Yes.
Was the concept known to you before that? Did you get the chance to listen, to hear, or to hear stories from other people in Kosovo? Because I would like to oppose your opinion on entrepreneurship in Kosovo, because what we see here today is a flourishing market of startups, but it takes a long time for startups to be known by the general public, because, it takes 1 to 2 years minimum for a startup to stand on the feet. So I think we are doing well there, but of course there is always space to grow. While you mentioned we do really have the population is very young in Kosovo. There is a lot of potential. So if you were to start learning the concepts of entrepreneurship, for example, earlier, would you have a different thinking about the situation in Kosovo?
That's a really good question, actually. Yes, I think that when I first learned about the startups and entrepreneurship in general, I was in bachelor studies, and I think it's a little bit late. Maybe some general knowledge. We kind of learned about economy and the basic concepts, but we didn't learn it earlier. And also it is not just about entrepreneurship specifically, but it's the mindset, but the system that we have in schools in Kosovo. We should deal more with real life projects. We should work as a team. We should inspire more the critical thinking and the research skills, when people can get information from internet and from different sources. In this sense, I think it would help me to reach and to get new ideas and to understand better the entrepreneurship when I first accessed it and first heard for it. It's not, I think, our education system, in some sense, it can be organized and think that we can integrate it in the curriculums. But I think it has to be more also about the mindset, about how we work, the real life projects that we set, the teamwork, how much do we care about our kids, how much do we work with them. And if we create a system that they are learning and they are getting valuable insights, then I think it would have been easier to understand the entrepreneurship and to deal with it. And yes, I think it would be so helpful if I would have some attributes that are really important to be an entrepreneur before the bachelor studies, and if we could work together. But I think in university it's really good to learn about those things. But since still, if you would know these concepts before and you would work in daily life with those things, it would be so helpful, because in everything that we face in daily life, if we apply some of the concepts that we have learned in entrepreneurship education, it is more helpful and you can reach to a better solution, since we all know about a lot of forms of doing business. About the part, yes, I think Kosovo is developing startups, but still we have a lot to do, to reach. I am not happy with what we have right now. Yes, Shkolla Digitale is now it has been some years, but is a startup in a sense. Starlabs is a startup in a sense, but still we have to work more in this sense and to work harder, since we have the potential. And we should not be happy with what we have. We should aim for not just in Kosovo but in the region as well. We should work, for example, in Baltic states.
That's an entrepreneur thinking. Yeah. There is more. There is always more.
in Baltic states, you have, for example, Bolt, that it's like the same as Uber, that started in Baltic states, and then it got, for example, in Budapest, the last time I were, it was Bolt, and they have a chain of coffees, a chain of like Bolt, of taxis, that it works in three countries. It works in Estonia, it works in Latvia, it works in Lithuania. So they have created something that works in both three countries, and then they are aiming to like occupy the Europe in this sense, expand their market. Yes, they want to expand it, and in the region we should have more of these ideas, like that brings the region together. And then when the startup or the company is strong enough to develop and to move further to other regions, I think we have a lot more to do, and that's why I am not that happy with what we have right now. But yes, we should not be sharing negative thoughts, but this is what I think. I am focused more in what we could achieve than that we have right now.
If I asked you, what does it mean to have an entrepreneurial mindset, what would you say? Now that you are in the field somehow, you've finished your studies or you're still studying, you hang out probably with people who are in the field. Yes. You meet people every day, especially from your work experiences. What would you say would be 2 or 3 main things that make for an entrepreneurial mindset?
I think the first thing is to not be afraid to take the risk, to go for it, because if you, for example, have a job, you have a standard, and not just to stay there, but to go outside and take the risk, risk everything and go for it, just what your idea has been, just develop it and go for it. Risk everything that you have and go for it. That's what I have been working in those days, because I'm developing my ideas, and in one day maybe it will be the day when you just see that it's in the right phase, and you can just go widely and publicly about it. But another thing besides not being afraid and taking risk is I think you should just focus more in showing up every day there. For example, if you think it's not working, then still be there. If you have an idea, just be there. Show up every day to develop it. Okay. For example, what I have been doing, if I have an idea, I have a specific time that, for example, when you go in school or when you go in work, that you have a specific time. I have a specific time that I deal with my idea, and I work on it every day. And if you show up every day, one day it will be the day. That's what I would say it makes. And also, I think something that I try, I push myself very hard, but that I don't have that much, is to have the discipline, and showing up every day is it's kind of a discipline, but I think you have to be more disciplined and to follow some kind of rules in order to achieve something. Not disciplined in terms of following some specific instructions, but discipline in terms of having mindset to read something and going for it, because there are a lot of entrepreneurs who say that if you are defocused by other things, you cannot reach, even if you have the very innovative idea, even if you have everything that it is required. If you are defocused and you have a lot of things going on in the same aspect, for example, you are working at the same time in a lot of ideas, and you cannot develop just one and focus in one and push it, then it might impact your success.
So from what I understood from you, it takes a willingness to risk, It takes discipline, and it takes you to show up and
every day,
believe in your idea and work for it.
Yeah.
What do we as a society in general can do, or do we have to do to multiply you? To multiply.
I don't know. I think we
to bring more young people to where you are right now, because you are in the field, you understand the concepts, you are working on your own ideas. Hopefully we will talk soon about your
yes. I hope so too. Yes,
on your enterprise. But what do we as a society have to do in order to multiply mindsets, entrepreneurial mindsets?
I think it has to be a combination of formal and informal education. It has to be, and not just this, it has to be those two, but also, the parents and the culture in general. Formal education is like the education, the system, like the Ministry of Education. They have to work more in the way how kids see the world, and to install a mindset to like inspire them to have the critical thinking, not just take everything as it is, to inspire more research, and to have real life projects, to work in a team, to set a leader, to work like it in real life, to have a combination of these two, not just like the classical way of learning that we have in Kosovo, when the teacher speaks and others just listen, and in the end they have just the exam and that's it. But we have teamwork, we work in a team, we create projects. And also when it is like in higher level, like in the academic level, in Pristina, University of Pristina, for example, teachers should create real life projects and to push students to deploy them. For example, to create an application or something in the tech industry and to deploy it. Like, for example, they propose a solution for a specific industry, and to push them to create contacts and to make them do something real. Even though in the beginning it might not have, the usage, and they cannot have like the audience that they expect. But it's so important if they do it. If they start doing something doing real life solution. Not just the classical project when you do something abstract, like that is, I don't know, something that professors require, but something that applies in real life. For example, you have a problem, you identify it, and then you try to solve it. Like propose a solution, follow all the steps that are there to reach that solution, and to go. And also the informal education we have in Kosovo, we have different program. For example, in the University of Pristina, we have Venture Up, we have Innovation Training Park in Prizren, Makerspace Innovation in Prizren. They try to inspire and students and young entrepreneurs with their ideas, to help them develop them and push them further. And I think this would help, but also the parents and in general the population should work in terms of education. We have to link the young generation with the kids, because the old generation had some problems in terms of following the trends and the technology. Not all of them, some of them. Not their fault actually, because the technology have been developing so fast, but they still cannot follow the trends. So in terms of education, we have to connect more, the young people and the kids, so the kids can know what is going on in real life and where we are, not just get the unupdated opinion. And this will impact, the culture, and it will help, kids to go for it. Then it is an example that, for example, when they took a city that, there are a lot of entrepreneurs, there are a lot of startups, and they asked them if they want to do something, the kids, literally kids, they said yes, like in the first class or something. They said yes, I will try, I can do it, all of them. But when they took like a country where innovations, startups are not so familiar, they have some, of course, but they were okay. Like one of them raised their hands, all of them were just expecting what is going on. So after we know what is going on, we can see what happened. So it's like a different culture that they have, and this is like when you are talking about kids, it is mostly impacted by their families, because if they have in the beginning of their education, mostly who impacts us is our family, because when we are in the first class, we have been just like 2 or 3 months going to class, and it's not something that has been told in class. It has been told their whole life since they were born, and this is what it. I think it would help in creating an environment that would bring us a lot of entrepreneurs. We have entrepreneurs, but we should aim for more.
You see the potential.
Yes.
Now, if I might summarize what I got from this conversation with you, is that in order to build an entrepreneurial mindset, which would mean that youth have willingness to risk, show up for their ideas, and are disciplined, we need to, as a society, we need to build a support system, which is a combination of formal education and informal education, but there is also need to do tweaks or changes into the general culture as well, and there is a lot of need for family support as well, right? To ignite or to foster entrepreneurship mindset from early ages on young kids. Would that be correct?
Yes. I am here more focused in terms of education, but as I mentioned before, I really think that army would help. This is not my thinking, it is what experts think, because I am just like in the beginning and there are a lot of things to be achieved, but army, I really think that would bring some change to our youngsters and would educate them in a sense too.
Interesting viewpoint.
And yes, it is something that it would definitely help, and also it will also in terms of discipline, it will create like the discipline that is in the army. It's not something that I really like, because it's more that's it and you have just to do it. This is how I have seen that is implementing. Also, I am more in terms of critical thinking, why I should do that, and to understand why, because when you ask why, that's when the new ideas come. If you see that is because of a reason, it can be of something else too, and that's where the idea comes. When you have an idea and then you develop it, and then you see that it works and the solution is helping the society. And yes, I think you summarized it in a good way, but also there are terms that they can do, like the ministries, the government, they can help a lot in this sense. And these are just some of my opinions, but we have to also do a lot of research, like and then we have to see what are our specific needs. This is what I have seen from my point of view, but if you do a research, you will get more point of views. You will maybe get something from me, something from others, and develop an strategic plan that would really help the country and the development, and would for sure decrease actually the unemployment rate in Kosovo.
This has indeed been a very insightful conversation. Thank you very much for your interesting viewpoints. Due to time constraints, we have to wrap up this conversation. I would like to hear a last thought from you, from a perspective of young guy aspiring to achieve more and to increase the potential of youth in Kosovo towards entrepreneurship. Any last words?
I don't know. I would just say to all the youngsters in Western Balkans and specifically in Kosovo, just show up and do take the risk. If you have any ideas, if you see something, just go for it, because you can do it. if you just have a profession, whatever it is, and you are working for somewhere, try and think that one day you can develop something that is bigger than that, and you can lead that change. Just think, show up, and be there, because you can be an entrepreneur one day, and you can change the way how we see creating new things today. I know that it sounds pretty hard to create something new and to start it from the beginning, but it is way easier than you expect.
Thank you very much. This was very nice. This is very nice ending of this conversation. We will continue with more stories like Ilir's on the next episodes. Thank you very much.